Hello everyone, my name is Archer and welcome back to a new video. Today I thought we'd check out one of the most important topics in all of Dota, and that is item builds. And how you can create the perfect item build for your specific hero and your specific role. So to start off with, I wanna talk about the most common guide people follow, which is the rivalry.com build. And it's made by Tortellini, or Tortellini, I don't actually know, but I don't think it really matters. I don't think anyone is gonna sue me over it. But yeah, the standard rivalry.com builds, you've all probably tried it. It's honestly what I recommend for beginners, or if you just want to try a new hero. But I mean, there are some others like Dota Alchemy. I love those as well. I mostly think the rivalry guides are a little bit better usually. But okay, let's talk about why you should even create your own build, why you shouldn't just follow rivalry. And honestly, mainly it's just because their guides aren't good, just objectively. I mean, they are good, I gotta correct that, they are fine, but in my opinion you can climb way better and way faster with better guides. There are mainly two ways you can create a guide. Either you have a coach or a good player do it for you, which you can do by joining the Discord in the description. There are always people who are up to help you out there. Or you can create one your own, which is usually just as good. And it's pretty easy actually. Just follow my steps. So to start off with, you wanna go to the hero that you wanna play. Let's actually, I don't know what hero to create a guide for. Okay, let's create a guide for Witch Doctor, one of my favorite heroes. I don't have Dota Plus right now, but I think it's my most played hero. I haven't played a ton of games, but 67, it's a decent amount. But I don't actually have a great build for him, so let's set one up. So how do you create a good build? Well, first of all, we have the rivalry here. It has this sponsor, it's pretty cluttered and it's not that great, and it doesn't get updated regularly, which you have to do on your own. So go to the heroes tab, go to guides up here, select your hero, Witch Doctor, there we go, and then just hit create guide, and then select which hero you want to create a guide for, which is Witch Doctor, Witch Doctor. Okay, so let's get over how to decide on the item build. So, when you select your items, the main key factor you want to pick around are the meta, or is the meta, and what your preferences are. So let's start off with the meta. How can you tell what the meta items are? Well, there is this website that I don't think a lot of people know about actually, which is quite old because it's a great website, which is called Dota.coach. You can probably see it in the description. It is actually created by a person I know. I wouldn't call us friends, but yeah, I chatted a bit with him. And it's honestly the best hero, I would say, the best website for consistent item builds. So right here we have the website. You can sign in with Steam and get some estimated MMR and other fun things. But what we're looking for is not the current hero meta, which is pretty useful, but it's not what we're gonna play around with now. It's actually check the hero pro averages. So just search up your heroes. In this case, I'm gonna pick Witch Doctor. Just go onto Witch Doctor's page. Okay, first of all, you can see some general stats, like the pro win rate. Witch Doctor's win rate is pretty shit right now, 42%, but we don't care about that, it's not that important. Then you can see what roles he usually plays. No safe lanes, no mids, 1 offlane core. Yeah, it's actually offlane core. 9% offlane support and 90% safe lane support. And I play him safe lane support, which is the recommended role. So let's just follow that build. So just select the position you play right here, which is position 5 for me, hard support. Then you can start off with the starting items. So here you can see that honestly there are a lot of different starting items for him. So honestly, if you're happy with the one that's suggested up here, which I am, then just add it to your Dota guide. just copy it item by item, this first line right here. So while you're adding this like this, you have the starting items. So let's get into the early game items. So there is a section for that here as well. And you can see that the boots of speed is the most common. Everyone gets this. And this is an important thing. If everyone gets it, it means it's probably quite important. So you should honestly always add it. And these that are more than 50% also probably always add it. So I would start off with just adding boots, wand and tranquil. Just like that. And then we have some more items here. Ring of Basilius, Urn of Shadows, Headdress and Null Talisman. And since these percentages are so low, we know that it's probably situational. And honestly, it's probably not even worth it to add this to the guide. You could though add them to the situational items down here. So we have Ring, Urn, Headdress and Null. So honestly, I don't think I'm gonna get Null Talisman anytime soon, so I'm just gonna not add it, but I'll add the other ones. So right here we have some situational items that you can look up later on and see if you, when and why you should build them. Then we have the mid game, and here you might notice something strange, and that is, wait, why are these percentages so low? And that is because usually this hero doesn't actually get enough gold to build these items, and sometimes actually win before it, and it's usually quite spread out. So honestly, right here, when picking some mid-game items, you usually need to actually analyze and think about them. So let's start off with Arcane Boots. I probably wouldn't go for it since we're probably buying Tranquil Boots earlier. It's really stupid to go for 2 boots. So I would probably buy a Brazier, but still, the percentages are quite low. So honestly, since the percentages are quite low here, I would just jump straight to the late game items with Glimmer Cape. So I might actually add the Brazier before the Glimmer Cape like that, since this is more of a mid game item and this is more of a late game item. You should always prepare for a game going super late, because otherwise you might be sitting there at 40 minutes and have no idea what you're gonna build. So honestly, just add these super late game items. It doesn't matter how rare they are. Just add Force Staff and Agnum Scepter, if that's what your guide is saying or what the website is saying. And I'm probably never gonna exceed this amount of gold, but if I do, then I can probably just improvise. It's fine. Then the game is probably later than 60 minutes. So we have our item build set up. Witch Doctor's item build is quite simple, and there are some who have way more complicated item builds, but this is the basics at least, and it's better than Rivalry's guide most of the time. Neutral items, honestly, this is something you should pick up quite early and just understand. You shouldn't need a guide for this, to be honest. If you're playing a support who has mana issues, get Arcane Ring, Mango Tree, all these mana items. Shovel is never a bad option. Royal Jelly is OP. Ironwood Tree is great. Kinoptic is great. You can figure these out by yourself, and if not, there's probably a teammate who can help you. But let's actually get to the abilities, one of the more interesting parts of making a guide. I genuinely feel like it's fine to just follow this guide exactly. And you might be wondering like, oh, but there's only what is it, like 67% of people get Maledict here, and the other get heal or something. But honestly, that's so situational that I would just recommend ripping this off exactly. And the talents as well. The talents are probably quite situational, like always. And you can see it when they have 47% or 41%, that means that both options are probably fine. But here when they have 63 and 67, you should probably always go for those. But let's just copy this build exactly. And then we can just copy the talents here. So armor, AoE, tick, damage. So armor, AoE, tick, damage. Okay, and then we honestly got a finished guide that's almost guaranteed better than Rivalry's guide. or at least more updated and meta than Rivalry's guide. And I have actually talked with some coaches and people about this, and they seem to generally agree. And I actually kinda stole this method from one of them, but that's besides the point. So then the question is, how do you actually use these items? Then that's the final point, like how can you utilize the build? And that's where this website proves to be useful once again. Because down at the bottom here, first of all, there are benchmarks that you can compare yourself to, which are honestly great, but there are also sources. And here you can see pro matches in the latest patch. So for example, there is the We Play League here and a bunch of other big pro tournaments. So just find some teams you like. I mean, Virtus Pro and and Navi, all of these are great teams. Honestly, you can pick any one of these. You don't have to go for like OG or Team Secret. Just pick any of these, like I'll pick this one for example. And then just look at the player who played. So in this case, he actually lost the game, but that's fine to look at as well. Honestly, it doesn't matter if they win or lose. And then just copy the match ID and then go into Dota. Click watch replays, search for match IDs, copy it in there, search, and boom, okay, and boom, you have the perfect like game to analyze and look through. And you might notice, hey, he bought different items. That doesn't matter too much, you can't copy it exactly, but I would just look at the items that you have in common, like maybe how does he use Tranquil Boots. I mean, that's a pretty bad example because there isn't much use for them, but still, look how he plays, look how he utilizes his skill build. Let's actually have a quick look at his skill build. And yeah, he does the same skill build that we set up earlier to a T. So you can just look, why is it best to start with Paralyzing Cask? Does he use it with bounties or not? And just look at those things and you'll have a better item build and ability build than 90% of players, at least in the lower brackets. But anyways guys, I think that's gonna have to be it for this episode. I'll see you in the next one. I'm kinda confused about like what type of videos I enjoy making and wanna do right now, but I'm really glad that my mid video went so well. If you haven't seen it, check it out up here. But anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!